Now, this is a really good question. And someone basically came to me and said, look, I've got 10 grand to spend on a mastering chain. What would you recommend putting in there? And it kind of got me thinking, where it was like, well, I mean, I know what I'd recommend. I love the SPL Iron. I love the SPL PQ. They're 5.5 grand each. So you're already at 11 grand and you've only spent, and you've only got 2 units. You know, there's so much more that you need. You need EQ, you need compression, 2 EQs if you're really lucky. Transient designer's brilliant to have, a limiter's brilliant to have, some sort of flavor box, something that will switch things into mid-side. You know, these things start stacking up, and really and truly you want to be looking at kind of around £30,000, 20, 30 minimum, to kind of go in and get a really, really good kind of mastering chain that's going to rival mastering engineers. And that's tricky. But then I thought, and I had a look around and I looked at different pricing for different EQs, different compressors, and I actually thought of the best mastering chain that this guy could have got. And the reason I'm choosing this mastering chain is because he doesn't have any outboard gear at all. There's no other outboard equipment. He's just got a UAD, I think it was an X6 interface. So he's got okay converters, not the best, but they're okay. So he's got okay converters. Now what we want to do is go off into as many units as possible that are of a really good quality. So it got me thinking, and I came up with a chain that will fit a £10,000 budget, and it will allow you to come out the box but not feel as though you're fully out the box. And by that I mean every unit has digital recall, so it's great for someone who isn't experienced in the sense of having to recall analog equipment. It literally is a really good way of going from I'm only in the box to then coming out the box. And the chain I figured would be best for him is a Bettermaker chain. Now the reason I say this is because each unit, let's say each unit's around £2,000 for each unit. That means we can get 5 different units. Now in there we can have the kind of the passive EQ that they've just brought out. We can fit the compressor in there. We can fit the parametric EQ in there. We can fit the limiter in there, and we can fit the bus compressor in there. That's 5 really good quality processors that we can have over that master bus. And you're probably talking about probably about 9,800. I think I worked it out at for those 5 units. And that's going to get you a really good mastering chain. And the great thing about it is I'm not sure if all of those, but most, I know the compressor and the EQ and the limiter definitely have, all have mid-side. So you have mid-side options. You ain't got to get something like the Gemini or the SPL Fusion to switch units into mid-side. So it gives you that option. Also as well is the Bettermaker limiter has brilliant saturation. So you've got really good saturation on there as well. So you're technically, what the chain you'd want to run is probably, I mean, this is how I'd run it. I'd go into the Bettermaker bus compressor. I'd then go into the compressor. I'd then go into the EQ, so the parametric EQ. I'd then go into the compressor. I'd then go into the passive EQ, and that's just used to bring out what I've done on the compressor. And then I'd hit the limiter. So that's your 5 units. And also as well is the limiter has really good widening. So you're actually, with that chain, you would be, for 10 grand, you'd cover everything. And then the good thing about it is 2 good things. One is the instant recall. So what you're basically doing is you've got that instant recall where if you have that chain set up, you can literally load a session, it will instantly recall and open back up. Now, the other good thing is that you'll have this chain that pretty much does everything. But what you'll then get is you'll be able to add to that chain. That chain will do everything, and it's of a good standard, a really good standard. But you'll then be able to go, right, well, okay, I've got £5.5 grand. I'm going to put an SPL iron in. So you might want to maybe switch out the Bettermaker compressor for an SPL iron. You might want to then switch out at a later date the EQ for a PQ. It's things like that you can do, or you might just keep them, start building your chain further and further, and then you end up with a really, really good chain. The Bettermaker chain what I've just recommended there, the good thing about it is it's cheap and it's good quality, and I don't think you'll find, I would say I don't think you would find a better chain for mastering under 10 grand than that Bettermaker chain.